Chapter 1. Mindset is the foundation. What if everything you've ever wanted, more freedom, more impact, more success, didn't depend on your talent, your past, or your luck, but on one single thing: your mindset? We hear the word everywhere, in books, podcasts, motivational talks. But mindset isn't just a catchy phrase or a trendy topic. It is the filter through which you experience reality. It determines how you see yourself, how you see challenges, and what you believe is possible. In other words, your mindset is the foundation of your future. Fixed versus growth. The two lenses. Let's begin with a simple idea. Your mindset is either working for you or against you. Psychologist Carol Dweck introduced the concept of a fixed mindset versus a growth mindset. It's one of the most transformative mental models ever shared. A fixed mindset says, "I am what I am." It believes intelligence, talent, and ability are static. If you fail, it means you weren't good enough. If something feels hard, it means you're not meant to do it. A growth mindset says, "I am what I work to become." It believes skills can be developed. Challenges are part of the journey. Failure isn't a dead end, it's feedback. People with a fixed mindset avoid risk, fear embarrassment, and stay inside comfort zones. People with a growth mindset seek new experiences, embrace effort, and know they can always evolve. Here's the truth: the most successful people in the world aren't always the most talented. They're the most growth-minded. The invisible limits you accept. Take a moment and ask yourself, what beliefs do I carry that are silently shaping my life? Could be things like, I'm not a math person. I'm too old to start over. I've never been confident. I just don't have the discipline. People like me don't succeed. Where did those beliefs come from? Often, we pick them up early. A careless comment from a teacher. A bad grade. A comparison to someone better. Years later, we're still carrying these mental scripts as if they were facts. But here's the truth. Beliefs are not facts. They're choices. And the most powerful moment of your life is the moment you choose to stop believing the story that limits you. Mindset is not magic. It's mental programming. Let's get one thing clear. This isn't about just thinking positive. This is about programming your mind the way you'd program a computer. Your brain runs on patterns, habits, thoughts, repetition. It believes whatever you feed it consistently. So if you constantly think, I'm not capable, your mind goes to work finding evidence to support that. But if you start telling yourself, I can learn, I can grow, I've done hard things before, I can do them again, your brain shifts. This isn't woo-woo. It's neuroscience. You're training your reticular activating system, RAS, the part of your brain that filters information and determines what you focus on. When you start feeding your RAS a new narrative, it starts highlighting opportunities instead of obstacles, possibilities instead of problems. That's how mindset works. It's not a feeling, it's a filter. Your identity, the root of all behavior. Every action you take is a vote for the type of person you believe you are. If you believe you're not a leader, you won't speak up. If you believe you're not athletic, you'll skip the workout. If you believe you're not that kind of person, you'll stay small. But what if you changed your identity? Not by faking it, but by shifting who you believe you can become. Start telling yourself a new story. I am someone who finishes what I start. I am someone who rises after failure. I am someone who leads, even when it's uncomfortable. Identity-based change is powerful because it aligns mindset with behavior. It doesn't just change what you do, it changes how you see yourself. The power of language. Words have energy. What you say to yourself matters. I can't shuts down the brain. I will figure it out turns it back on. Swap. This is hard. This is training me for something greater. I don't know how. I'm learning how. I'm overwhelmed. I'll take one step at a time. Change your language, and you begin changing your brain's internal map of the world. Comfort is the enemy of growth. Let's talk about comfort zones. They feel safe, familiar. easy. But they're also where dreams go to die. Here's the harsh truth. Comfort doesn't lead to greatness. Growth is uncomfortable. So is risk. So is trying something new and failing in front of others. But do you know what's even more uncomfortable? Regret. Knowing you had more in you and didn't act on it. If you want to build a limitless mindset, you must learn to lean into discomfort. To seek challenge. To treat fear as a green light. Every time you do something scary, something that stretches you, your mindset expands. Your inner boundaries get redrawn. You upgrade what you believe you can handle. Your past doesn't own you. Many people live in mental prisons created by the past. I failed once, so I'll probably fail again. I've never been confident, so I never will be. I've been through too much to succeed now. Let this be your reminder. Your past is not a prophecy. It's a chapter. And you're the author of the next one. Growth means refusing to let old stories define your next move. Every moment is a fresh chance to think differently, act boldly, and build a future that looks nothing like your past. Examples of limitless mindsets in action. Let's look at a few real-life examples. Oprah Winfrey was born into poverty and endured abuse. The odds were against her. But she refused to accept the narrative she was handed. She created a new one. Thomas Edison failed over 1,000 times before inventing the light bulb. When asked about his failures, he said, "I didn't fail, I found 1,000 ways that didn't work." J.K. Rowling was rejected by a dozen publishers. She was a single mother living on welfare. But she kept going, and created one of the most successful book series in history. These people weren't born with superpowers. They just had the mindset to keep going when it would have been easier to quit. Exercises to begin your mindset shift. Let's get practical. Here are 3 powerful exercises to begin rewiring your mindset. 1. Challenge the inner critic. Write down a limiting belief you've carried. Now challenge it. Is this belief true? Who gave it to me? What would my life look like without it? Then, write a new empowering belief to replace it. 2. Daily identity statement. Each morning, write, "Today, I choose to be someone who..." Finish the sentence with something powerful. Takes action despite fear. Believes in their vision. Grows from every challenge. Read it aloud. Speak it into existence. 3. The 1% rule. Ask yourself, what's one small thing I can do today to grow by just 1%? It could be reading 10 pages, making one brave phone call, trying something new. Growth doesn't require massive action, just consistent, courageous steps. The mindset shift begins here. If you only take one idea from this chapter, let it be this. Your life expands or contracts in direct proportion to your mindset. If you believe your future is limited, it will be. If you believe you're capable of more, you will begin to find ways to become more. This is not motivational fluff. It's real. It's practical. And it starts now. Your beliefs are not set in stone. They are soft clay, ready to be reshaped. So let's start reshaping. You don't need to have it all figured out. You just need to begin. Chapter 2. Breaking the mental chains. What if the heaviest chains in your life were invisible? Not the kind forged in metal, but the ones forged in thought, limiting beliefs, inherited fears, and silent assumptions. These are the mental chains that bind most people. And the tragedy? Most never realize they're locked inside them. You might look around at your life and wonder why you feel stuck, why you keep hitting walls, why success feels just out of reach. The answer, more often than not, lies in your mind. The real prison is mental. The walls that limit you aren't made of brick. They're built from, "I'm not smart enough. I've always been like this. People like me don't get ahead. I'll never be as good as them. It's just too late for me." These phrases seem innocent, normal, even. But they're not. They're mental scripts, and like background code in a computer, they run your life without you realizing it. Here's the hard truth. Until you confront your mental barriers, you'll never escape them. And here's the empowering truth. Every belief can be changed. Every limitation can be rewritten. Where mental barriers come from. Most of your mental barriers weren't created by you. They were inherited. As children, we absorb everything. We watch how adults react to money, stress, failure. We hear what they say about people like us, or what's realistic, or what it means to succeed or fail. Add in school systems, social pressure, trauma, rejection, and cultural norms, and you've got a recipe for self-imposed limitation. You were trained to doubt yourself, trained to fear judgment, trained to stay in line. But guess what? You can untrain your brain. The cost of invisible barriers. Mental barriers don't just keep you from success. They rob you of aliveness. They make you say no to opportunities you're secretly excited about. They keep you quiet when you want to speak. They cause you to shrink when you should stand tall. They replace potential with procrastination. They make you settle for just okay when your soul craves extraordinary. And the worst part? You don't even realize the damage they're doing, because your brain has normalized them. It thinks they're keeping you safe. But safety without growth is not safety. It's stagnation. Fear disguised as logic. Mental barriers are sneaky. They don't always announce themselves as fear. Sometimes they sound reasonable. Now's just not the right time. I should wait until I'm more prepared. I'll start once I have more clarity. It's not that bad where I am. Sounds smart, right? But these phrases often aren't based in logic. They're fear in disguise. They're how your brain justifies staying stuck. It doesn't want you to risk pain, embarrassment, or failure. So it gives you good reasons to play small. Recognize these for what they are, mental defenses, not truth. The voice in your head is not always right. We all have an inner voice. It talks all day. It narrates your life, judges your actions, analyzes your decisions. But here's what most people never learn. That voice isn't you. It's a collection of thoughts, habits, memories, and conditioning. It's an echo of the past, not a reflection of your future. And the most life-changing decision you can make is to stop blindly believing everything that voice says. Start questioning it. Is this thought helping or hurting me? Would I speak this way to someone I love? What if the opposite of this thought is actually true? You are not your thoughts. You are the observer. And that gives you power. Comparison, the silent killer of potential. One of the most damaging mental barriers. Comparison. You scroll through social media and see someone else's highlight reel. Their polished life, perfect body, million-dollar business. And your mind starts whispering, I'll never be that good. But here's what you need to remember. You're comparing your behind-the-scenes to someone else's stage performance. You're judging your Chapter 2 against their Chapter 20. You're focusing on their strengths and ignoring your own. Comparison doesn't just drain your confidence. It blinds you to your unique path. Your journey isn't supposed to look like anyone else's. And the sooner you own that, the freer you become. Perfectionism, the mask of fear. Perfectionism seems noble. You just want to get it right, right? But dig deeper, and you'll see what perfectionism really is. Fear of failure dressed up as a standard. Perfectionism leads to paralysis. It's not perfect, so I can't start. Procrastination. I'll do it when it's ready. Shame. If I don't succeed, I'm not good enough. Real growth doesn't come from perfection. It comes from progress. It comes from messing up, learning, adjusting, and doing it again. Done is better than perfect. Action beats overthinking. Every time. The way out: awareness, choice, action. So how do you break free from mental barriers? Step 1. Awareness. You can't change what you won't confront. Start noticing your inner dialogue. Write it down. Question it. What am I assuming here? Who gave me this belief? What would happen if I stopped believing this? Step 2. choice. Once you see a belief for what it is, a thought, not a fact, you get to choose. Keep it or change it. This is the moment of truth. Will you keep letting fear win? Or will you choose a belief that serves your highest potential? Step 3. Action. Belief without action is just wishful thinking. To rewire your mind, you must act as if the new belief is already true. Believe you're confident. Speak up, even if your voice shakes. Believe you're disciplined. Show up, even when you don't feel like it. Believe you can succeed. Take the next step, even if it's small. Every action is a signal to your brain. This is who I am now. Power practices. Tools to break mental barriers. Let's get hands-on. Here are practices you can begin using immediately. 1. Belief reversal. Choose one limiting belief you've had for a long time. Flip it. Examples. I'm too old. I have wisdom and experience others don't. I've failed too many times. I've learned more than most. I don't have time. I make time for what matters. Write the reverse belief on a sticky note. Read it every day. Speak it aloud until it feels true. 2. Mental audit. Once a day, write down your most recurring negative thoughts. Don't judge them. Just capture them. Now next to each one, write, what's the evidence for this? What's the evidence against this? What would I say to a friend who believed this? Train your brain to question its own assumptions. 3. Discomfort reps. Each week, do one thing that makes you uncomfortable. Start the project you've been avoiding. Post the video. Have the hard conversation. Discomfort is how you expand your limits. The more reps you do, the more unstoppable you become. Freedom is a mental choice. No one is coming to give you permission. No one is going to rewrite your thoughts for you. You have the pen. You write the script. And it starts with breaking free from the old ones that no longer serve you. There is no magical day when you suddenly feel ready. But every day you act despite your limits, those limits shrink. Your doubts, lies, your fears, smoke. Your limits, optional. Chapter 3. Rewiring your thoughts for success. Your mind is a machine. Every day, it runs millions of thought patterns. Some of those patterns empower you. Others trap you in fear, self-doubt, or failure. The good news? You're the engineer. You can rewrite the code. You can upgrade your inner software. You can literally rewire your thoughts to create success, starting now. This isn't hype. It's science. It's psychology. It's practice. And it's your next step toward becoming unstoppable. The mind-outcome connection. Let's break this down. Your life follows a formula. Thoughts, feelings, actions, results. That means the results you're seeing, good or bad, are rooted in the thoughts you're thinking. For example, if you constantly think, I'm not ready, you'll feel anxious. That anxiety leads to hesitation or avoidance. No action equals no progress. That reinforces the belief that you're not ready. It becomes a cycle, a loop, a self-fulfilling prophecy. But when you rewire your thoughts, when you start with, I'm figuring it out, or I'm making progress, everything shifts. Because your thoughts don't just reflect your reality. They create it. Your brain is a habit machine. Your brain is not designed for your happiness or success. It's designed for efficiency and survival. And it loves habits, especially thinking habits. Neuroscience calls this neuroplasticity, your brain's ability to change its structure and function based on experience and repetition. This is a powerful truth. Every time you think a thought, you're reinforcing a neural pathway. The more often you think it, the stronger it gets. Imagine your thoughts as trails in a forest. Negative thoughts equals well-worn paths. Easy to walk, hard to avoid. New, positive thoughts equals overgrown, unfamiliar trails. Hard at first, but they get easier every time you walk them. You can build new mental highways. But it takes effort, awareness, and repetition. The power of intentional thinking. Most people don't think, they repeat. They wake up, and their mind automatically runs the same 60,000 thoughts they had yesterday. And 90% of those thoughts are either unconscious or negative. But what if you started thinking on purpose? What if you chose thoughts that fueled your goals instead of your fears? What if you treated your thoughts like you do your nutrition or fitness, something you manage, not something that manages you? That's where everything changes. Step 1. Identify the mental loops holding you back. You can't rewire what you can't see. So your first step is to become aware of your default thought patterns. Ask yourself, what thoughts do I think most often about success? What do I tell myself when things go wrong? What story do I repeat about my abilities or future? Write them down. Now ask, would I give these thoughts to someone I love? If the answer is no, then why are you giving them to yourself? Step 2. Reframe, replace, repeat. Once you spot a limiting thought, you don't argue with it. You replace it. This is the 3R method. 1. Reframe it. Instead of, I always mess up, say, I'm learning how to get better. Instead of, this is impossible, say, I haven't figured it out yet. Adding yet turns a fixed mindset into a growth mindset. 2. Replace it. Create a new thought that aligns with your goals. Make it believable, powerful, and personal. Not, I'm a millionaire. If you're broke, that feels fake. Instead, I am developing the skills and mindset to build real wealth. Realistic but empowering. 3. Repeat it. Repetition is how your brain learns. Say it out loud. Write it. Visualize it. Use your body. Feel the truth of it. The more you repeat a thought, the more natural it becomes. You're teaching your brain a new language. Step 3. Align your inner world with your outer goals. You can't say you want success while constantly thinking about failure. You can't say you believe in yourself while mentally beating yourself up. Your inner world must match your outer goals. Ask yourself, if I already had the life I wanted, how would I think? What would my self-talk sound like? How would I handle challenges? Then begin practicing those thoughts now. You don't wait to change your thinking after you succeed. You change your thinking so that you succeed. Your words are programming. Here's a secret most people miss. Your brain listens to your mouth. The words you speak out loud are heard by your subconscious. And they shape how you feel, what you expect, and how you show up. This means, stop saying, I'm bad at this. Say, I'm improving every time. Stop saying, I'm overwhelmed. Say, I'm focused on one thing at a time. Stop saying, I can't. Say, I'm figuring it out. Your language is a tool. Use it like one. Visualization, your brain's favorite hack. Did you know your brain can't tell the difference between vivid imagination and real experience? When you visualize something, like succeeding, speaking with confidence, or crossing the finish line, your brain starts firing the same neural pathways as if it were happening. That's why top athletes, performers, and entrepreneurs visualize their success before it happens. You should too. Each day, close your eyes and picture your goal in vivid detail. Imagine yourself succeeding with ease. Feel the emotions: pride, joy, gratitude. Do this consistently, and your brain will start believing it's possible, because it's already seen it. Gratitude, the gateway to possibility. Most people focus on what's wrong, what's missing, what's not enough. That kind of focus wires your brain for lack and limitation. Gratitude flips the switch. Gratitude is a success practice, not just a feel-good one. It trains your brain to notice what's working, what's possible, and what's already here. Start a daily habit. Write down 3 things you're grateful for. Feel it fully. Let it expand in your body. Then ask, what's one opportunity one can act on today? Gratitude primes your brain for action. For clarity. For momentum. Self-talk equals self-image. The way you talk to yourself builds your self-image. And your self-image determines what you believe you deserve. If your inner voice is cruel, dismissive, or critical, you will unconsciously sabotage your success. But when your self-talk is kind, constructive, and empowering, you rise. Here's a mindset mantra. Speak to yourself like someone you love. That alone can change your life. Your environment equals your mindset amplifier. Thoughts don't grow in isolation. They grow in environments. If you surround yourself with negativity, gossip, doubt, and fear, you'll absorb it, even if you're trying to be positive. But when you fill your space with books that inspire, people who think big, spaces that calm or energize you, audio that uplifts, rituals that ground you, your mindset upgrades by default. So ask, is my environment supporting the version of me I'm becoming? If not, change it. Take micro-actions to reinforce mental shifts. Thoughts become stronger when they're backed by action. If you say, I'm disciplined, but never follow through, the thought weakens. If you say, I take action, and then do something, even small, the thought becomes more real. So every day, take one micro-action that supports your new belief. Think, I'm confident. Send the email. Think, I'm focused. Eliminate one distraction. Think, I'm a leader. Speak up in the meeting. Every small win reinforces the neural rewiring. Train your mind like a muscle. You don't go to the gym once and expect to stay fit forever. Same with your mind. Rewiring takes consistency. It takes daily attention. It's not a quick fix, it's a practice. But the payoff? More clarity, more confidence, more control, more joy, more results. You literally become someone new, someone powerful, someone intentional. Chapter 4. Overcoming Fear and Self-Doubt. What would you do if fear and self-doubt had no power over you? Think about it. What goals would you chase? What conversations would you have? What version of yourself would rise if fear stopped dictating your choices? Here's the truth most people never realize. Fear and self-doubt aren't the problem. It's how you respond to them that defines your life. They're not going away, but they can be tamed, rewired, and turned from enemies into allies. Let's dismantle the two biggest barriers between you and your limitless self, starting now. The biology of fear. Fear is not weakness. It's biology. Your brain evolved to keep you alive, not successful. It's programmed to detect threats, avoid pain, and prioritize safety. That served us well when lions were real. But now, most threats are psychological. Fear kicks in when you take a risk, speak in public, launch a business, ask for more, share your truth. Your brain doesn't know the difference between being chased by a tiger and clicking publish on a bold post. It triggers the same internal alarm: fight, flight, or freeze. But guess what? Just because fear shows up doesn't mean something is wrong. It means something important is happening. Fear is a signal, not a stop sign. Self-doubt, fear's silent partner. If fear is loud, self-doubt is sneaky. It whispers, "You're not ready. Who do you think you are? You don't have what it takes. Others are better, smarter, more experienced." Self-doubt pretends to be rational. It wears the mask of humility or caution. But underneath, it's fear dressed in softer clothes. The truth: self-doubt is not a reflection of your potential. It's a reflection of your past programming. You weren't born doubting yourself. You were taught to. And just like it was learned, it can be unlearned. The fear loop: how it keeps you stuck. Let's break down how fear and self-doubt create a loop that traps millions. You feel inspired to grow. Fear arises. Your mind says, "What if you fail?" You hesitate. Wait. Overthink. Self-doubt creeps in. "Maybe I'm not ready." You back off. Stay safe. You feel disappointed, frustrated, stuck. You repeat the cycle the next time an opportunity arises. The longer this loop goes on, the stronger it gets, until it becomes your default response to life. But here's the shift. You don't have to feel fearless to act boldly. You just have to act anyway. The myth of readiness. Most people are waiting to feel ready before they make a move. They believe confidence comes before action. But that's not how it works. Confidence comes after you take the leap. Readiness comes after you do it scared. Clarity comes after you step forward. If you wait to feel 100% ready, you'll wait forever. You become ready by doing. How to rewire fear and self-doubt. Let's get practical. You don't need to eliminate fear and self-doubt. You need to change your relationship with them. Here's how. 1. Name it to tame it. Fear thrives in the shadows. When you don't look at it directly, it grows. But the moment you name it, it shrinks. So pause and ask, what am I actually afraid of? What am I doubting in myself right now? What story am I telling myself? Give it language. Write it out. Say it aloud. Bring it into the light. Because you can't fight what you won't face. 2. Dissect the lie. Most fears are built on lies. Exaggerations. False predictions. When you look closely, they fall apart. Fear says, you'll embarrass yourself. Maybe. But you'll survive. And you'll grow. You'll fail. Probably. But failure is part of the path. They'll judge you. Some might. But they're not your people. Self-doubt says, you're not enough. Compared to what? Who decides that? You've failed before. And you're still here. Stronger. Smarter. Dissect the lie, and you take away its power. 3. Create a new fear, regret. Use fear as fuel. Ask yourself, what will it cost me if I let fear win? Who will I never become? What impact will I never make? What opportunities will I miss? What life will I settle for? Let the fear of regret be stronger than the fear of failure. Because failure lasts a moment. Regret lasts a lifetime. 4. Visualize courage, not just success. We hear a lot about visualizing success. But just as important is visualizing courage. Close your eyes and imagine. You, feeling the fear and still taking action. You, standing up despite the shaking. You, sending the message, making the call, taking the risk. See yourself doing it afraid. That's how your brain starts to believe it's possible. Because it has seen the path before, even if only in your mind. 5. Stack evidence against self-doubt. Your brain believes what you prove to it over time. So start building a confidence file. Write down every time you showed up when it was hard, every risk you took, every challenge you faced and survived, every compliment, win, small victory. Collect them. Read them. Remind yourself. You have evidence that you are brave, capable, resilient. Self-doubt forgets. Your confidence file remembers. 6. Take micro-brave actions. Courage is not a giant leap. It's a daily practice. Start small. Speak up once in a meeting. Post your idea online. Send the message you've been scared to send. Say no to something that doesn't serve you. Say yes to something that scares you a little. These micro-brave actions stack. They change your identity. Each one whispers, "Look, we did it." 7. Befriend the fear voice. You can't silence the voice of fear forever, but you can change your relationship with it. Treat fear like a well-meaning but overprotective friend. Acknowledge it. "Thanks for trying to keep me safe." Reassure it. "I've got this. We're okay." Move forward anyway. Fear doesn't get to drive the car, but it can ride in the back seat, quietly. 8. Change your physiology. Fear isn't just mental. It's physical. When you're scared, your breath shortens, your posture slouches, your muscles tighten. And your brain gets the signal. We're in danger. Flip the switch. Breathe deeply. Long, slow inhales. Even slower exhales. Stand tall. Shoulders back. Chin up. Move. Shake it off. Jump. Walk. Stretch. Change your body, and your mind follows. 9. Don't fight alone. Use a fear-slaying circle. Surround yourself with people who take bold action. Normalize discomfort. Remind you of your strength. Don't let you hide. Fear grows in isolation. It shrinks in brave company. You don't have to do this alone. 10. Redefine success and failure. Most fear comes from a toxic definition of failure. But what if failure wasn't losing, but learning? What if success wasn't perfection, but progress? You win either way. You try and it works equals success. You try and it fails equals growth. With this mindset, there's nothing to fear. Only feedback to gain. Fear is a sign of expansion. One final truth. Fear means you're on the edge of your next level. It's not a red light. It's a green light disguised as discomfort. If you're scared, it means you're stretching. If you're doubting, it means you care. If you're uncomfortable, it means you're evolving. Let fear walk with you. Let doubt watch from the sidelines. But don't stop. Chapter 5. Mastering Self-Discipline and Focus. Most people don't fail because they lack dreams. They fail because they lack discipline to pursue them consistently, and focus to stay on track when the world pulls them in every direction. In a world addicted to instant gratification, distractions, and dopamine hits, self-discipline and focus are superpowers. They separate the dreamers from the doers. The someday talkers from the action takers. The good news? These are not traits you're born with. They are muscles you build, deliberately, daily, and with intention. Discipline is freedom. That might sound like a contradiction. Isn't discipline the opposite of freedom? Actually, no. Discipline gives you freedom from regret. Discipline gives you freedom from chaos. Discipline gives you freedom to choose your future instead of being pulled by your past. When you master discipline, you stop reacting and start leading. You don't wait for motivation. You don't need external pressure. You become your own engine. The more disciplined your life becomes, the more control you gain over it. Focus. The currency of mastery. Let's talk about focus. We live in the most distracted age in human history. The average person touches their phone over 2,600 times a day. Notifications. Multitasking. Scrolling. Pings. Dings. Endless input. And yet, all the breakthroughs in your life, creativity, productivity, growth, come from one place. Deep focus. Focus is how you channel your energy. It's the magnifying glass that turns sunlight into fire. Without it, all your effort scatters. You don't need more time. You need more focus time. The myth of motivation. Let's clear up a huge misconception. Motivation is a mood. Discipline is a decision. Waiting for motivation is a trap. Because some days, it won't show up. And if you rely on it, you'll quit when things get boring, hard, or uncomfortable. The most successful people in the world don't always feel motivated. They feel committed. Motivation might get you started. Discipline keeps you going. The discipline formula. Clarity plus commitment plus control. Discipline isn't about gritting your teeth through misery. It's about alignment. Let's break it down. 1. Clarity. Know what you want. Discipline without direction is just punishment. You need clear, emotionally compelling goals. Not vague ideas like get better or make more money, but specific outcomes that mean something to you. Ask yourself, what do I truly want? Why does it matter? What will it cost me if I don't go after it? Write it. Define it. Own it. Clarity fuels discipline because when your why is strong enough, your how gets easier. 2. Commitment. Make it non-negotiable. There's a difference between being interested and being committed. If you're interested, you'll do it when it's convenient. If you're committed, you'll do it no matter what. Think of discipline like brushing your teeth. You don't need to be excited to do it. You just do it because it's part of your identity. Discipline becomes easy when you shift from "I'll try" to "this is just what I do." 3. Control. Create systems, not willpower battles. You don't rise to the level of your goals. You fall to the level of your systems. Willpower fades. Systems don't. Here's how to build discipline-friendly systems. Remove friction. Lay your gym clothes out the night before. Prep meals in advance. Turn off notifications. Add constraints. Set timers. Block social media. Use accountability tools. Automate what you can. Schedule workouts, recurring tasks, payments. Make it obvious. Keep your goals visible. Track habits. Use calendars and checklists. Your environment should make success easier, not harder. Train your focus like a laser. Focus is like a spotlight. Whatever you shine it on grows. But if you try to shine it everywhere, you dilute your power. Here's how to train and protect your focus. 1. Start with one thing. Multitasking is a myth. Studies show it makes you dumber, slower, and more error-prone. The brain doesn't do two cognitive tasks at once. It switches rapidly between them and burns out in the process. The solution. Single task. Ask, what's the one most important thing I can do right now that will move me forward? Do that, and only that. 2. Use the power hour. Set a timer for 50 to 60 minutes. Eliminate all distractions. No phone. No email. No tabs. Work deeply on one task. Then take a 5 to 10 minute break. This method, often called the Pomodoro technique, boosts mental stamina and trains you for deep work. One focused hour can be more productive than 4 distracted ones. 3. Guard your mental bandwidth. Your mind has limited capacity. Don't waste it on trivial things. Minimize decisions. Plan your day in advance. Create routines for mornings and evenings. Say no more often. Declutter your space. Block out time for thinking, not just doing. Protect your attention like it's sacred, because it is. Discipline is built, not born. You don't become disciplined overnight. You build it like a muscle. Every time you show up when you don't feel like it, choose the long term over the short term. Follow through on your word. You reinforce the identity of someone who is disciplined. That identity becomes easier to step into every time you practice it. How to start building discipline today. Let's get tactical. Here's how you can begin strengthening your discipline right now. 1. The rule of 1. Pick one habit to commit to for the next 30 days. Working out, writing, meditation, studying, creating content. Start small. Make it doable. Show your brain, this is who I am now. 2. Make it time-bound. Discipline needs structure. Give yourself clear boundaries. From 7 to 8 a.m., I work on my business. After 9 p.m., no screens. I write for 25 minutes every morning. Structure builds rhythm. Rhythm builds momentum. 3. Use a habit tracker. What gets tracked gets improved. Use a calendar, an app, or a journal to check off your habits. This gives your brain a reward and creates a sense of progress. Consistency creates confidence. 4. Plan for resistance. You won't always feel like it. That's okay. What will I do when I don't feel like it? What triggers might throw me off track? What's my backup plan? Discipline isn't about being perfect. It's about showing up even when it's inconvenient. 5. Celebrate small wins. You're not a robot. Celebrate the days you showed up. Reflect on what you're building. Progress is motivating. Acknowledge it. Discipline doesn't mean grinding endlessly. It means staying on your path and enjoying the ride. Discipline is self-respect. Let's get deep for a moment. Discipline is not punishment. Discipline is a form of self-respect. When you follow through on your goals, you're saying, I am worth this effort. My future matters. My dreams matter. That's not harsh. That's sacred. Avoiding burnout. Balance with grace. Discipline isn't about hustle 24/7. You need recovery too. Rest days. Time off screens. Space to breathe. Time for fun, love, laughter. Burnout happens when you confuse discipline with pressure. True discipline includes honoring your limits, so you can keep going long-term. Identity. Become the person who. Want your discipline to last? Attach it to your identity. I'm a person who moves my body daily. I'm a focused creator. I finish what I start. I protect my time like gold. When discipline becomes who you are, not just what you do, it becomes sustainable. The world rewards the focused. In a noisy, distracted, chaotic world, the person who can focus wins. The person who stays disciplined builds. The person who keeps showing up, even when no one is watching, rises. You don't need to be the smartest, fastest, or most talented. You just need to outlast, outfocus, and outdiscipline the version of you who quits. Chapter 6. The Science of Mental Resilience. What separates those who crumble under pressure from those who rise, adapt, and keep going? It's not luck. It's not talent. It's not intelligence. It's resilience. Mental resilience is the inner strength that allows you to bend without breaking, to bounce back after setbacks, to stay calm in chaos, focused under pressure, and determined when nothing's going your way. This isn't about being tough or emotionless. It's about being mentally agile, emotionally grounded, and powerfully persistent, no matter what life throws at you. And the best part? Resilience is not something you're born with. It's a skill you build. Let's explore how. What is mental resilience, really? At its core, resilience is the ability to recover from challenges, adapt to change, sustain effort through adversity, grow stronger through struggle. It's not about avoiding hard things. It's about navigating them without falling apart or giving up. Resilient people don't have fewer problems. They just respond to them differently. The neuroscience of resilience. Your brain is built to survive, not thrive. It's constantly scanning for danger and trying to protect you from anything that feels uncertain or risky. But here's the breakthrough: your brain is plastic. Through neuroplasticity, it can rewire itself based on how you respond to stress. Each time you face a challenge, regulate your emotions, make a tough decision, bounce back after failure, you literally build stronger neural pathways that make you more resilient for the future. Resilience is like a muscle. Every time you use it, it gets stronger. The mindset shift. Challenges are training, not trauma. Most people view adversity as a punishment or problem, but resilient minds see it differently, as preparation. They ask, what is this teaching me? How can I grow from this? What strength is being forged in this fire? When you change how you label the tough moments, you change your relationship to them. They stop being threats and start becoming training grounds. Pain becomes power when you choose to grow through it. Stress isn't the enemy. Avoidance is. Let's be real. Life is stressful. There's no version of existence where things are always easy. But stress, in moderation, is necessary. It sharpens you. It activates you. It pushes you to evolve. The key isn't to avoid stress, but to manage it. To develop the emotional agility to stay present and grounded, even when things feel intense. Think of it like lifting weights. If you never face resistance, you never grow stronger. The 5 pillars of resilience. Let's break down the 5 core pillars that create true mental resilience. 1. Emotional regulation. Your ability to manage how you feel, especially under pressure, determines how you think, decide, and act. Resilient people don't let emotions run the show. They breathe deeply under stress. Pause before reacting. Name their emotions. I feel anxious versus I am anxious. Choose thoughtful responses over emotional outbursts. Practice. Try the 5-5-5 breath. Inhale for 5 seconds, hold for 5, exhale for 5. Repeat for 3 to 5 minutes when overwhelmed. This simple practice calms your nervous system and gives your logical brain a chance to regain control. 2. Cognitive flexibility. Life doesn't go according to plan. Resilient people adapt quickly. They let go of the need for control and instead focus on the one thing they can control: their mindset. They pivot when needed. They reframe setbacks. They ask, what else could this mean? What can I do differently? Where's the opportunity here? Practice. When something unexpected happens, pause and write down 3 alternate interpretations of the event. This trains your mind to break free from rigid thinking and develop flexibility. 3. Purpose and meaning. A strong why makes you unbreakable. When you're connected to something bigger than comfort, like a mission, a value, a legacy, you can handle much more discomfort. Purpose turns pain into fuel. It gives your struggle meaning. And meaning is what keeps people going when others give up. Practice. Ask yourself, what matters to me more than my fear? What kind of life am I committed to building? What would I fight for, even if it's hard? Write your answers. Read them daily. 4. Support and connection. You're not supposed to be strong alone. Human beings are wired for connection. Isolation weakens resilience. Community strengthens it. Resilient people don't pretend to be invincible. They reach out. They lean on others. They ask for help. They surround themselves with people who lift, not limit them. Practice. Build your resilience circle. Identify 2 to 3 people you can talk to when things get hard. People who will remind you of your power, not your problems. 5. Self-efficacy and confidence. Resilient minds believe, I can handle this. Even if it's new, even if it's hard, even if it hurts. They don't need guarantees. They trust themselves to figure things out. And where does this come from? Reps. Every time you survive something difficult, take action under pressure, or solve a problem, you build evidence. You earn the right to trust yourself. Practice. Create a resilience resume. List out every tough thing you faced and how you overcame it. You'll be shocked by how strong you already are. Turning setbacks into strength. Setbacks don't break resilient people. They build them. When something goes wrong, they don't spiral. They don't play victim. They don't retreat. They reflect, regroup, and rise. They ask, what did I learn? What would I do differently next time? What did this reveal about me, and what I'm capable of? Resilience isn't about bouncing back to who you were. It's about bouncing forward, into someone stronger. Micro-adversity training. Build resilience daily. You don't need a crisis to train resilience. You can do it every day, on purpose. Here's how. 1. Do hard things on purpose. Wake up earlier. Take cold showers. Exercise intensely. Say no to temptations. Speak up when it's scary. These small challenges strengthen your willpower, emotional tolerance, and mental toughness. 2. Embrace discomfort. Seek out situations that stretch you. New experiences. Difficult conversations. Public speaking. Learning something complex. Growth and comfort don't coexist. 3. Recover intentionally. Resilience isn't just about pushing, it's about recovering. Get sleep. Move your body. Spend time in nature. Journal. Meditate. Disconnect from screens. A strong recovery habit makes your bounce back faster and more sustainable. The resilience ritual, a daily practice. Use this 10-minute ritual to train resilience every morning. Breathe, 3 minutes of deep breathing. Reflect, what challenge am I facing? What can I learn? Reframe, what new empowering meaning can I give it? Affirm, I can handle hard things. I adapt. I grow. Act, What small, bold action will I take today to strengthen myself? Repeat daily. Watch your resilience grow exponentially. Resilience versus resistance. There's a difference between resisting life and being resilient through life. Resistance says, "This shouldn't be happening. Why me? I hate this." Resilience says, "This is happening. Now what? This is hard, but I'll get through it. This is temporary. I'm still in control." You don't have to like the challenge, but you can choose your response to it. That's your power. Chapter 7. Unlocking your hidden strengths. You are stronger than you realize. Inside you are untapped capabilities, dormant talents, and mental, emotional, and physical strengths that haven't been awakened yet. Not because they aren't there, but because you've never been pushed far enough to discover them. The truth. Most people live and die without ever touching their full potential. Not because they're incapable, but because they've accepted a version of themselves that was never true to begin with. It's time to change that. This chapter is a deep dive into discovering the greatness already within you. How to uncover it, develop it, and express it in your life, relationships, and work. The lie you've been sold. Let's begin here. You've been sold a lie. A lie that says, you either have it or you don't. Talent is fixed. People are born for greatness, or not. This is the lie of limitation. It's what keeps people small. It's why people stop trying, avoid risks, and settle for mediocre lives. But the truth? Strengths are not found, they are forged. You don't find your strengths on a lucky day. You develop them through challenge, curiosity, discomfort, and action. Why your strengths stay hidden. You might be wondering, if I have hidden strengths, why haven't I seen them yet? Great question. Here are the most common reasons. 1. You haven't been challenged deeply enough. Comfort never reveals strength. We discover what we're made of when we're stretched beyond what we thought we could handle. Pressure reveals power. Think about the times in your life when you were truly tested, emotionally, mentally, spiritually. Now think about how much growth came from those moments. That's where your strengths started waking up. 2. You've been focused on what you're not. Most people spend more time criticizing themselves than building themselves. They fixate on flaws. Compare their weaknesses to others' strengths. Dismiss their gifts because they don't look flashy. But you can't unlock your strength if you're busy rehearsing your limitations. 3. You've been told you're not that kind of person. Sometimes our hidden strengths are buried under years of labels. You're shy. You're not athletic. You're too sensitive. You're not leadership material. Those are not truths. They are inherited beliefs, given to you by people who didn't know your full capacity. It's time to strip off the labels and step into the truth of who you are. The strengths already within you. Let's redefine strength. Strength is not just physical power or outward confidence. It's also emotional endurance, adaptability under pressure, compassion in chaos, curiosity that never dies, grit when you want to quit, creativity in problem-solving, boldness in uncertain moments, intuition that guides your steps, presence in discomfort. You already possess some of these. Maybe all of them. They've just been underused. Let's bring them to the surface. How to start unlocking your strengths. Here's a 3-phase process to uncover what's inside you. Phase 1. Discovery. Find the seeds. You can't grow what you haven't identified. Let's find the seeds of your strengths. Ask yourself, what challenges have I overcome that others might not have survived? What do people consistently admire in me? When do I feel most alive, clear, or powerful? What kinds of situations bring out my best energy? What am I doing when I lose track of time? These answers are clues to your natural areas of strength. Strength from struggle. One of the most overlooked sources of strength. Your hardest moments. If you've survived heartbreak, trauma, or loss. Rebuilt after a failure. supported someone else through their pain, lived through instability, rejection, or massive change. Then you have resilience, empathy, and mental fortitude already encoded in you. You don't have to build them from scratch. You just have to recognize them. The strengths you don't give yourself credit for. We tend to undervalue the things that come naturally. You might think, I just listen well. I just stay calm under pressure. I'm just good at noticing patterns. But those just statements, they're gold. They're often your zone of genius hiding in plain sight. Don't dismiss what you're good at just because it's not loud, dramatic, or celebrated by everyone. Phase 2. Development. Train the muscle. Once you've identified a potential strength, you must do something critical. Strengthen it. A strength unused is a strength undeveloped. Let's go deeper. Turn pain into power. Write down one major challenge from your past. Now write. What did I learn? What quality did I develop because of this? How do I use this experience to help others? When you mine meaning from your pain, you turn past suffering into present strength. Push your edges. Growth lives at the edge of discomfort. If you want to uncover what you're truly capable of, you have to go there, intentionally. Here's how. Volunteer to lead when you feel unqualified. Say yes to the project you'd usually avoid. Step into rooms where you're the least experienced person. Start the thing you've been putting off. You don't unlock hidden strength in theory. You unlock it through exposure to challenge. Give yourself permission to experiment. Some of your greatest strengths haven't been revealed because you've never given yourself permission to try. Try a new skill. Explore a different interest. Learn outside your comfort zone. Reinvent yourself. Strength is a byproduct of movement. If you stay still, you stay the same. Phase 3. Expression. Use what you've built. Once your strengths begin to surface, you have a responsibility. Use them. Your strength isn't just for you. It's for others, too. For your work, your community, your future, your mission. Step into identity-based power. Stop saying, I'm working on becoming stronger. Start saying, I'm someone who shows up strong, even when I don't feel like it. Every time you act in alignment with your strengths, your identity catches up, and that identity becomes unshakable. Serve from your strength. Don't wait until you're ready. The world doesn't need your perfection. It needs your presence. How can I use my strength to serve others today? Who needs the version of me that I've been hiding? What problem am I uniquely equipped to help solve? Strength becomes meaningful when it's expressed in purpose. Redefine what strong looks like. You don't have to fit a stereotype to be powerful. Strong can be quiet, thoughtful, artistic, fierce, playful, empathic, analytical, bold, visionary. Your strength is valid, even if it doesn't look like anyone else's. Your weakness may be a misused strength. Here's a reframe that could change your life. What you call a weakness might be a strength in the wrong environment, or used in the wrong way. Examples. I'm too sensitive. Sensitivity is emotional intelligence and intuition. I overthink. You're a deep processor with high standards. I hate confrontation. You value peace and harmony, strengths in leadership when used intentionally. Stop rejecting parts of yourself. Learn how to channel them. Your strengths are your superpowers. When you live in alignment with your strengths, you feel more energized, work more efficiently, communicate more clearly, handle pressure more gracefully, attract aligned opportunities, make more impact with less effort. Why? Because you're operating from your natural design, not forcing yourself to be someone else. Power practices. Activate your hidden strengths. Try these 3 exercises this week. 1. Strength Spotting Journal. Each night, write down one strength you demonstrated during the day. It could be big or small. I stayed calm in a hard conversation. I solved a complex problem at work, I spoke up when I was nervous. This rewires your brain to start noticing your capability in real time. 2. Weekly strength stretch. Once a week, do something slightly outside your comfort zone that requires courage, creativity, or leadership. Then reflect. What did I learn about myself? What skill did I stretch? What strength showed up that surprised me? 3. Ask your circle. Ask 3 trusted people. What do you think my greatest strengths are? You'll be shocked by what others see in you that you've been overlooking. Write it all down. Use it as fuel to move forward with confidence. Chapter 8. The role of habits in long-term success. Success isn't built in a weekend. It's built in tiny, repeated choices, made day after day, month after month. Most people think success is about massive breakthroughs, genius-level talent, or one lucky opportunity. But the truth? Success is a system, and the system is built from your habits. Your habits create your future. They determine how you think, how you feel, how you act, and ultimately, who you become. In this chapter, we're going to uncover why habits matter more than motivation, how habits shape identity, how to build powerful, lasting routines, how to break bad patterns, and how to automate success at the deepest level. Let's begin. The compound effect. Why small wins matter. Habits are small, right? They seem insignificant on the surface. But their power lies in compounding. The idea that small actions, repeated consistently, create exponential results over time. Think of it like this. Eat 100 extra calories a day, gain 10+ pounds a year. Save $5 a day, build $1,800 plus a year. Read 10 pages a day, finish over 15 books a year. Walk 20 minutes a day, lower disease risk dramatically. Success and failure don't happen overnight. They happen gradually, then suddenly. Your habits are the invisible architecture of your destiny. Identity. You become what you do repeatedly. Let's go deeper. Your habits don't just shape your actions. They shape your identity. If you write daily, you become a writer. If you train daily, you become an athlete. If you create daily, you become a creator. If you skip, snooze, and scroll, you become someone who avoids. This is why habit change isn't just behavior change. It's identity transformation. You don't just want to change what you do. You want to change who you believe you are. And that starts with one habit at a time. The habit loop. Cue, routine, reward. To change your habits, you have to understand how they work. Every habit follows this pattern. Cue, a trigger or signal, e.g., time of day, emotion, location. Routine, the behavior you perform, e.g., check phone, grab coffee. Reward, the payoff or feeling, e.g., dopamine, relief, satisfaction. Once the brain associates a cue with a reward, it starts craving it. The more you repeat it, the more automatic it becomes. Your goal. Redesign the loop. Keep the cue, shift the routine, preserve or upgrade the reward. Example. Cue. Feeling stressed. Old routine. Binge watch or scroll. New routine. Walk, breathe, or journal. Reward. Relief plus clarity. Motivation is overrated. Systems win. Most people rely on motivation to change habits. That's why they fail. Motivation is inconsistent, emotional, fleeting. It's great when it shows up, but it's unreliable. Systems are reliable. A system is a structure that helps you take the right actions regardless of how you feel. If your goal is to write a book, your system is: wake at 6 a.m. Write for 30 minutes. No internet until finished. Systems don't care how motivated you are. They run like code. And they build your future. You don't rise to the level of your goals. You fall to the level of your systems. The 4 laws of habit change. Based on the science of behavioral design, here's how to create new habits and make them stick. 1. Make it obvious. Your brain likes visual cues. Lay out your workout clothes the night before. Put your book on your pillow. Keep your water bottle in front of you. Use sticky notes with affirmations. What you see often becomes what you do. 2. Make it easy. The more friction you remove, the more likely you are to follow through. Start with 2 minutes of the habit. Prep your environment, e.g., meal prep, clean workspace. Reduce steps between intention and action. If it's too hard, your brain will resist. If it's easy, it becomes natural. 3. Make it attractive. Pair your habit with something enjoyable. Listen to audiobooks while exercising. Light a candle while journaling. Reward yourself with music after focused work. Your brain craves dopamine. Link the habit to pleasure, and you'll keep showing up. 4. Make it satisfying. The habit must feel like a win, immediately. Check it off a tracker. Share your win with a friend. Reflect on how good it feels to stay consistent. Satisfaction is what signals your brain, do this again. Stacking habits. Leverage what you already do. One of the fastest ways to build new habits is habit stacking. The formula is simple. After I, current habit, I will, new habit. Examples. After I brush my teeth, I'll do 2 minutes of affirmations. After I make coffee, I'll write for 10 minutes. After I shower, I'll review my goals. By attaching new habits to existing routines, you piggyback on neural pathways already in place. It makes the new habit automatic faster. Tracking progress. Make it visible. If you can't measure it, you can't improve it. Tracking your habits keeps you motivated, accountable, focused. Use a calendar, app, or simple checklist. Every checkmark reinforces your progress. Remember, don't break the chain. 1 missed day is okay. 2 is the start of a pattern. Breaking bad habits. Interrupt the pattern. You don't break bad habits by willpower. You break them by disruption. Here's how. 1. Make it invisible. Remove the cue. Hide junk food. Delete distracting apps. Leave your phone in another room. Log out of social media. Out of sight, out of mind. 2. Make it difficult. Add friction. Use website blockers. Add extra steps between you and the habit. Keep the TV remote in another room. Make it harder to indulge. That moment of inconvenience gives you time to choose differently. 3. Replace it. Don't just try to stop. Swap. Instead of snacking, drink water or chew gum. Instead of scrolling, go outside. Instead of complaining, write down one solution. Your brain still gets a reward, but in a new, empowering way. Habits and energy. Aligning with your rhythm. Habits work best when aligned with your natural energy cycles. Are you a morning person? Build key habits early. Have a creative window in the afternoon? Block that time. Feel drained at night? Avoid willpower-based tasks. Know your rhythm. Work with it, not against it. Your environment shapes your habits. You're not just a product of willpower. You're a product of your environment. If your kitchen is full of junk, you'll eat junk. If your desk is messy, you'll feel scattered. If your circle is lazy, you'll slow down. Environment is the silent architect of behavior. Is my space making my habits easier or harder? Are my friends reinforcing my habits or sabotaging them? What can I change around me to support the change within me? Set up your surroundings to support your system. Reinforcing identity with habit language. Stop saying, I'm trying to work out. I'm hoping to wake up earlier. I'm attempting to write more. Start saying, I'm someone who works out consistently. I'm an early riser now. I write because that's who I am. Language shapes identity. Identity drives consistency. Every action you take is a vote for the type of person you want to become. The 80-20 habit principle. Not all habits are equal. Ask yourself, which 20% of habits drive 80% of my growth? Which actions give me the biggest return? Then double down on those. Quality, quantity, depth, noise. Master a few high-leverage habits. Let the rest support them. When you fall off, don't quit, reset. You will fall off. That's normal. Life happens. Schedules shift. Energy dips. But the key is this. Don't confuse a slip with failure. When you fall off, don't shame yourself. Don't restart next month. Reset the next meal, the next morning, the next hour. Success isn't never falling. It's getting back up fast and making the next right choice. Chapter 9. Training your brain for confidence and clarity. Confidence and clarity. Two of the most desired and misunderstood states of mind. People often assume you either have them or you don't. That some people are just naturally confident. That clarity magically appears in moments of inspiration. That these qualities are traits, not choices. But here's the truth. Confidence and clarity are not traits. They're built through repetition, intention, and mental training. You can rewire your mind to develop unshakable self-belief and laser-sharp direction. You can stop second-guessing, overthinking, shrinking, or chasing certainty, and start thinking, acting, and deciding like a leader. This chapter is a blueprint for that. Why confidence and clarity are linked. Before we dive into how to build them, let's understand the relationship between the two. Confidence is trusting yourself, your voice, your skills, your worth, your ability to figure things out. Clarity is knowing yourself, your values, goals, direction, priorities. One feeds the other. When you have clarity about who you are and where you're going, you show up more confidently. And when you act with confidence, you create more clarity through action. Most people are stuck in the opposite cycle. Doubt, hesitation, confusion, inaction, more doubt. But with the right practices, you can reverse that cycle. Awareness, clarity, action, evidence, confidence. Let's start there. Confidence is built, not found. Confidence is not arrogance. It's not loud. It's not fake bravado. It's not being fearless. True confidence is quiet self-trust, calm presence, resilience after mistakes, action despite uncertainty. You don't become confident by thinking your way there. You build confidence by acting your way there. It comes from repetitions, practice, micro wins, emotional recovery, positive self-talk, remembering who you are. Confidence is a muscle. Let's train it. Step 1. Upgrade your inner dialogue. If you talk to a friend the way you talk to yourself, would they still trust you? That voice in your head is not harmless. It sets the tone for your life. Negative self-talk sounds like, I can't do this. I'm not ready. I always mess things up. People like me never succeed. That voice is a liar. And it's optional. You must replace it with a new voice, one that speaks from belief, not fear. I've handled hard things before. I am capable, even if I'm nervous. I'm learning fast. I can figure it out as I go. Repeat these until they stick. Speak them out loud. Write them down. Feel them in your body. Words shape reality. And your words shape your reality first. Step 2. Collect evidence that you're capable. Confidence isn't just built through positive affirmations. It's built by stacking proof. Here's how to do that. Create a confidence file. Write down every win, big or small. Include compliments, accomplishments, kind feedback. Review this file weekly. When doubt creeps in, pull out your file and remind yourself, I've done hard things before. I've got proof. Confidence thrives on memory. So feed it regularly. Step 3. Stop waiting to feel ready. Confidence is not the cause of action. It is the result of action. Waiting to feel confident before you start is like waiting to be in shape before going to the gym. You build confidence by doing things before you feel ready. And then you do it again. And again. until your brain learns, this is who I am now. The formula is, act before you're ready. Survive it. Realize you're capable. Repeat until confident. Step 4. Normalize mistakes. Lack of confidence often stems from perfectionism, the fear of getting it wrong, looking stupid, or being judged. But here's the truth. Every confident person you admire has failed repeatedly. Every expert was once awkward and unsure. Every powerful speaker once stumbled through their first speech. Mistakes aren't signs that you're not good enough. They're signs that you're growing. Practice saying, I'm allowed to learn. I don't have to be perfect to be powerful. Step 5. Create micro-wins every day. Confidence is built on momentum. Each day, set yourself up for a small win. Start the task you've been avoiding. Speak up when you'd usually stay silent. Finish something you said you'd do. Then pause. Acknowledge the win. Feel the pride. Let it land. Small wins become big confidence when repeated. How to train your brain for clarity. Clarity is power. It eliminates confusion, overthinking, and mental clutter. When you have clarity, your decisions get faster. Your actions get bolder. Your path gets clearer. Let's train your brain to operate with clarity. 1. Define your North Star. Without direction, clarity is impossible. You need a North Star, a vision, purpose, or goal that gives your actions meaning. What kind of person do I want to become? What values matter most to me? What do I want to create in the next 1 to 3 years? What impact do I want to make? Write it down. Keep it visible. Let it guide your choices. 2. Clarify today before you start it. Confusion creates stress. Clarity creates flow. Start your day with 5 minutes of clarity. What matters most today? What 1 to 3 actions will move me forward? What can I let go of? Avoid reactive mornings. Design your day on purpose. 3. Remove mental clutter. Mental clutter comes from trying to do too many things at once. Unfinished tasks. Open browser tabs, literal and mental. Unclear priorities. Clear it out. Use a journal or planner to dump thoughts. Make clear decisions. Say no more often. Finish the small tasks you keep avoiding. Every bit of clutter cleared creates more space for clarity. 4. Ask better questions. Your brain is a question-answering machine. Whatever you ask, it answers. So train it with power questions. What is the most important thing right now? What would this look like if it were simple? What's the next small step I can take? What am I pretending not to know? These cut through confusion like a laser. 5. Take action to create clarity. You don't get clarity by thinking harder. You get it by moving forward. Clarity is a result of engagement, not avoidance. Every time you act, you get feedback. Feedback refines direction. Direction creates clarity. Stop waiting for perfect answers. Start creating them. Rewire daily. A morning confidence plus clarity ritual. Spend 10 minutes each morning to anchor your brain in strength and direction. Step 1. Breathe 1 minute. Deep, slow breaths to center your body. Step 2. Affirm 2 minutes. Speak or write, I am capable. I trust myself. I'm moving forward. Step 3. Visualize 2 minutes. See yourself handling the day with clarity and confidence. Feel it in your body. Step 4. Focus 3 minutes. Ask, what are my top 3 priorities today? Write them down. Step 5. Act 2 minutes. Do something immediately. Send a message, stretch, start a task. Start your day like this and watch your mindset transform. Your environment affects your confidence and clarity. You can't think clearly in chaos. You can't feel confident in a toxic space. Is my physical space clean, calm, and aligned with my goals? Do I consume content that empowers or drains me? Do I spend time with people who encourage or criticize? Upgrade your environment. Changes your mind more than you think. Confidence is trusting your power. Clarity is knowing where to aim it. Together, they create unstoppable momentum. With confidence, you move. With clarity, you move in the right direction. They don't appear magically. You train them. You repeat them. You build them. Every day you talk to yourself like a leader. Decide what matters. Act boldly in small ways. Reflect and refine. You train your brain to live in a new default state. Clear, strong, focused, self-assured. Chapter 10. How to take action and stay consistent. You can have the perfect mindset. Crystal clear goals. Limitless potential. But none of it matters if you don't take consistent action. That's the bridge between who you are now and who you're becoming. This is where most people get stuck. Not because they're incapable, but because they overthink. Wait for motivation. Fear failure. Quit too soon. Start strong, then fizzle out. But not you. You're here to master the real superpower, taking action daily, even when you don't feel like it. Let's dive in. Why action beats everything else. Most people stay trapped in their heads. They spend months planning, researching, waiting to feel ready. They analyze every possible outcome, worry about what others might think, and postpone their dreams in the name of preparation. Here's what they miss. Clarity comes from movement. Confidence comes from momentum. Success comes from consistency. Action creates feedback. Feedback leads to clarity. Clarity fuels improvement. Improvement builds confidence. You don't become great by thinking. You become great by doing. The illusion of readiness. Let's break a common myth. I need to feel ready before I begin. No, you don't. If you wait to feel fully ready, you'll never start. Because readiness is not an emotion, it's a decision. The truth is, readiness comes after you start. Confidence comes after you act. Mastery comes after repetition. You don't need more time. You need more courage to begin imperfectly. Start before you're ready. Start small. Start now. The key to taking action? Lower the bar. Not your goals, your starting point. Most people set the bar too high on day one. I'll work out 2 hours a day. I'll write 2,000 words every morning. I'll meditate for an hour. And then when life hits, they miss one day, feel like a failure, and quit. The solution. The 2-minute rule. Do the thing for just 2 minutes. 2 minutes of writing. 2 minutes of stretching. 2 minutes of reading. Why? Because the hardest part is starting. Once you start, you often go longer. But even if you don't, you've built the identity of someone who takes action. Momentum. Your new best friend. Momentum is more powerful than motivation. Think of a train. At rest, it takes massive energy to move. But once it's moving, it's nearly unstoppable. You are the same. Action creates momentum. And momentum keeps you moving, even through resistance, fear, and fatigue. Don't wait to feel like it. Start, and the feeling will follow. Consistency is greater than intensity. Another trap? Believing success requires extreme effort. It doesn't. It requires daily effort. Not one big workout, daily movement. Not one creative binge, daily creation. Not one burst of productivity, daily focus. Your brain and body respond to consistency. It builds trust. It becomes automatic. It rewires you. 1 action done every day, 10 actions done once a month. The psychology of consistency. Why do most people struggle to stay consistent? Because they rely on motivation. Expect results too fast. Set unrealistic routines. Miss one day and give up. Tie self-worth to performance. To stay consistent, you must understand your psychology. Let's break it down. 1. Set identity-based habits. Don't just focus on what you want to do. Focus on who you want to become. Instead of, I want to write a book. I'm a writer who shows up daily. Instead of, I want to get fit. I'm someone who honors my body. Tie your actions to an identity. Every time you show up, you reinforce that identity, and it gets easier to stay consistent. 2. Track it visually. What gets measured gets mastered. Is a habit tracker, a calendar with check marks, a journal or app. This turns consistency into a visual game. Your brain loves progress. When you see the streak, you won't want to break it. Don't break the chain. If you miss a day, don't miss 2. 3. Create rituals, not routines. Routines feel robotic. Rituals feel intentional, sacred, energizing. A ritual isn't just what you do, it's how you do it. Light a candle before writing. Play the same music before working out. Read a mantra before creating. This conditions your brain. It's time to activate. 4. Use accountability wisely. Left alone, your brain will default to comfort. But when you involve others, things change. Tell a friend your goals. Join a challenge. Hire a coach. Join a mastermind. Share your streaks online. Accountability makes your commitment public. It adds positive pressure. 5. Celebrate small wins. Too many people only celebrate the finish line. But if you don't enjoy the journey, you won't finish. Train your brain to feel good about the process. After each action, say, I'm proud of myself. I'm building something great. This matters. Micro-celebration rewires your nervous system to crave consistency. The anti-perfection formula. Perfectionism kills action. It says, if it's not perfect, don't start. If you mess up, you've failed. If you're not the best, why bother? But the truth is, progress beats perfection. 70% done beats 100% never started. Consistent effort beats occasional excellence. When you rewire your mind to value effort over outcome, you become unstoppable. Create an action environment. Your environment either fuels or drains your momentum. Is my space free from distractions? Are my tools ready and visible? Do I see visual cues of my goals? Am I surrounded by action takers or excuse makers? Design your environment so that taking action becomes easier than not taking action. Build your daily action framework. Here's a simple framework to use every morning to guarantee daily action. 1. The top 1% question. What's the one action today that will move me 1% closer to my goal? Do that first. 2. The 30/30/30 rule. Spend 30 minutes on mindset, read, meditate, journal. 30 minutes on movement, walk, stretch, workout. 30 minutes on mission, take bold action. This creates a powerful foundation. 3. The power of 3. Pick only 3 priorities a day. Not 10. Not everything. Just 3 that really move the needle. Then execute with intention. What to do when you slip. Slipping is part of growth. But here's the key. Don't turn a slip into a spiral. Instead, forgive yourself fast. Identify what caused the slip. Adjust your system. Start again immediately. The people who succeed are not the ones who never fall. They're the ones who get up fast and often. Discipline over motivation. There will be days when you're tired, distracted, bored, anxious. That's when discipline matters most. Discipline means doing what needs to be done, even when you don't feel like it. It means honoring your commitment over your comfort. Not to punish yourself, but because your future matters. You're always building something. Every day, you're building one of 2 things. Evidence that you take action, even when it's hard. Or evidence that you give in, even when it matters. Which version do you want more of? Every decision is a vote. Closing reflection. The power of one day. Don't underestimate the power of one day of action. One day can rebuild your confidence, create a breakthrough, start a new habit, break a bad one, shift your identity. And one day of consistency becomes 2. 2 becomes 7. 7 becomes a streak. A streak becomes a new way of life. So ask yourself now, what is one action I can take today that future me will thank me for? What habit, if done daily, would transform my life? What commitment am I ready to show up for, no matter what? Then do it. Start small. Stay steady. And watch what happens when your mindset meets momentum.